Welcome to the Defining Moments Black Men series of the 𝐤𝐤𝐬 Show. I am so honored and pleased to welcome today's guest, Coach Terrence Dominick. How are you today?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so tell us a little about yourself, your occupation, and your background.
Okay. First of all, my name is Mr. Terrence Dominick, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. My family's from the projects in St. Louis, Missouri, and then I come by way of Wellston, U City, and then the Riverview area. I'm currently assistant principal, but my most memorable moments were as a coach for the Northwest Academy Football Hornets.
Okay. All right. So before we get into your defining moment, how would you describe yourself?
Let me see. No nonsense when it's time for business. Fun loving, kid centered, and wanting to do the right things to make a positive environment and reach all the young kids I can. Put in all the positive things I can into them. So the goal is to get every kid that I touch and reach to say, Coach tried to help me.
Okay.
Or he helped me.
Okay. That's fantastic. You know, we have some attributes in common. That's why I was chuckling. But we knew that already, didn't we? All right. If you had to pick a phrase that would be the theme for your life, what would that be?
Turning setbacks to comebacks.
Okay. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, you go through life and you might get knocked down. So you get a setback. But as a man, I know I got to come back. As a human being, I got to come back. And I'm not going to do it on all by myself. I got to look for the Lord first. I go to him with a broken and contrite heart. And then I'm ready to go.
You said a word right there. Thank you. All right.
You're going to preach it up in here.
Yes, I see. Okay. So some people may say, what is a defining moment? A defining moment is a point in life when a pivotal decision must be made or when an experience fundamentally changes a person. What defining moment would you be willing to share with us today?
When I had lost a job, so that was a setback.
Okay.
So I reached out to one of my frat brothers, 𝐤𝐸𝐸, by the way, and he told me to hang on, be patient. He might have something for me, and he did. And I went in there, and it was startup of a football program. We had nothing. Our school was actually coming from a middle school, transitioning to a high school. So I had to build that program and also gain the trust of my students, my players. They didn't know me. I didn't know them. And it was quite difficult at first because at that time it was 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. And the 9th graders who played football had went to other schools. They got recruited to go to other schools. So I had the students who had never played before.
Wow.
So it also gave me a chance to instill all the things that I wanted in them so they can be more well-rounded football players. I didn't have to break down anything because it was all new to them. They soaked it up like sponges. Because you get players that come in and they've learned some things, which is good. Mm-hmm. But some may be set in their ways. You might have to break down a lot of things, and that takes a lot of time away from actual coaching and instilling what you want to put into them because there's a lot of pushback.
Gotcha. So what happened as a result of this?
Well, in building the program, we got the first year we got some freshmen come in. We had the freshmen that were there. They were going to be sophomores. We got newcomers to the team, and we got to build each year. So each year we got better and better and better, and we climbed to number 4 in the area. That was our highest attainment. We won 2 playoff games in that time span, in which people didn't think we were going to do anything. They were like, "Who are the Northwest Hornets?" I remember playing a team. They're going to say, "Who is Northwest?" Well, they found out who Northwest was.
Okay, so let me go back to a couple of things because you said so many rich things that we can discuss. Number one, when you said we didn't have anything, what does not having anything mean? You did not have.
We didn't have game jerseys. I remember going out. We had practice jerseys. We had to play games in those jerseys.
Wow.
And I told them, if you keep winning, things are going to change. They're going to want to put some money into the program. We're going to get people that want to invest. We had a school, which I can't name, but anyway, they donated some things for us. So we went from no game jerseys to having 5 game jerseys because we kept winning and people kept seeing this and they wanted to be a part of it. The alumni even started to raise funds and come back to the school.
Come back.
And to help us.
Okay. Now, how long did it? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. And then I walked in there. I was by myself. I didn't have any coaches. I went to a district meeting and just struck up a conversation with a guy, found my defensive coach. Started working there, found out one of my frat brothers, younger brother was there. He helped me out. So it was just 3 of us. We did all this with 3 people. And the guy I first found was a basketball coach. But I liked the way that he cared about kids. And I told him, well, I have these defensive formations and techniques and things we're going to put into them. And all you got to do, we have a system. So all you got to do is run it. And he did it for me. He's one of my closest friends to this day.
That's fantastic. Okay. So you also said something about, you didn't say it this way, but what I got from it is you didn't have to break bad habits because they were like sponges and they soaked it up. So why was that important? Because oftentimes we have habits that have to be broken. So what's the problem when you have habits that need to be broken?
We have to have habits that need to be broken. Like I said, it's a lot of pushback and they got these preconceived notions. Like for instance, we got a player weighing 115 and he's a sophomore, but he's aspiring to go Division I. He's 5'3", 115, and he thinks he knows it all.
Okay, so what I think you're saying is he's too small to probably be in Division I, even if he's talented.
Right.
Okay. And then because he thinks he knows it all, then he's not even listening to really get half a chance to be able to accomplish his goals, because not only is he small, that's a disadvantage, but he won't even listen to wise counsel.
Right. Because we could get him bigger. We can get him faster. We don't know how much he's going to grow, but we know how to put weight on him and these things, but he's talking too much. He's not allowing us to coach him. He's not coachable.
Yes.
And that's a major problem. But we didn't have to put up with those type things. Granted, we didn't get anyone to D1, but scouts started to come, and we were a Class 2 team. We were a smaller team, so some of our kids went to NAI to play.
Which means what?
It's a paid school for one. You got to. Right. There's not much scholarships. You'll get a partial scholarships. You got Division I, 2, 3, then NAI.
Gotcha. Okay, that helps. Just so we have an understanding. Okay, so let me ask you. So had you even considered? Oh, one quick question. How long did it take you from the start of the program to get to the winning the division? How many years or seasons?
3 to win the division.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So we played a JV year the first year.
Okay.
Then the next year, everybody was preparing for the playoffs. But once we won all those games the first year, some of our kids got the big head. They didn't think they had to come lift weights in the summertime. So the percentage of the people who came to lift weights was the percentage of the games that we won. So it was easy to show them on the chalkboard. Well, only a third of you came to off-season workouts, so we only won a third of our games. So I guarantee you, if more show up, we're going to win more games. Following season, I would say 70% of the kids showed up. We won 7 out of 9 games.
Wow.
Okay. That was the second year? No, third year. Third year right there. We went to the playoffs there. And I think we lost to Brentwood that game.
Okay.
In the following year, almost everyone except one player showed up. So we went 10-1. I think we went 10-1 that year.
Wow.
Playoff games. So
wow,
it was easy
that's
to show
fantastic.
them. Yeah, it was easy to show them if you come and dedicate yourself, this is what happened. It was right there for them to see it. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I have so many questions, but I'm not going to ask all of them. But one thing, had you even considered coaching before your frat brother called you and said I might have an opportunity? Had you ever considered, or that was the first time you even considered it?
No, I had coached before.
Okay.
But mostly JFL, Little League.
Okay.
Football.
Okay.
Right. I was always interested in football, since high school,
Right.
Riverview Rams.
Right.
But I knew I was small.
Right.
And when I got to Central Missouri State and looked at those players, I knew football wasn't for me anymore. They were giants. Okay. So I'm like, well, how can I know I'm not going to the NFL, but what can I do football-wise? So I said, I could start coaching probably. So even at college, I started coaching my flag football team.
There you go.
Right. So it was always in me. I just had to find a way to get it out.
I love it. I love it. So for people who are watching this, and if you've thought my dream is deferred, or I'm too old, or I'm too disabled, or I'm too small, I'm too big, whatever it is, there's always a way if you're willing to change your perspective, right? I mean, that's what I'm hearing. Okay. Right. I'm glad you brought up high school and things like that, because I think a lot of times people don't realize a lot of the things that we're interested in that we're passionate about at a young age. It's just that we don't necessarily continue to pursue them, especially when some doors seem like they close. Right. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. So, I felt like, well, this door is closed. So I said, how can I stay in the game? So one of my older frat brothers like, come on out for the flag football. So I played, and once I played there on that team, I was like, well, I can get my own team. So they graduated. So I got my own team, and I started coaching that team. And we were supposed to go to New Orleans, but we didn't go. We didn't have the funds to go to New Orleans for the flag football championship. But we won a lot of games during that time. Okay. And then I came home and started coaching Little League football, and my sons and his friends, and had a ball doing that. Then I helped my uncle out, coaching with him. And then I got the high school shot when I lost the job I had. And then my frat brother helped me out. And he was like, we're starting a program. I said, well, that's good. I can put everything in this program. It was always on my mind. He said, it's yours. I said, it's mine. Let's go. Talk to the principal. And I talked to her. She said, okay, you have the physical education job. You got the qualifications. She said, and that's my girl to this day, Miss Carter Thomas. Shout out Miss Valerie Carter Thomas. She said, what you going to do for my football team? I said, well, what day do we start? I'm going to show you.
All right. Yeah. So what would you say is maybe one of the biggest rewards of being a coach for you?
I would have to say, it's not even, now that I got older, think back, it's not even the football wins. It's now. To see my players come back, or to see them out somewhere, or for them to call me on Facebook or whatever and say, Coach, come be with us. We're doing this. Coach, I'm an electrician. Coach, I'm a bus driver. Coach, I just graduated college. Speaking of that, one of my players just started working at the school I'm at now. He was so excited. He came through the door telling our kids, hey, listen to Coach, man. Coach gonna tell you something good. Listen to it. And I didn't even have to poke him or prod him to say anything. He did it on his own. And the kids responded to it looking like, whoa. Because I'm already teaching them
Yes.
And now this is confirmation.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, before we finish, could you give 3 pieces of advice to a young man in today's world? So, as Coach Terrence Dominick, this may be your only time to coach them.
Mm.
So, what 3 things would you tell them? And obviously, you're not their football coach. So, what do they need to know? 3 things a young man growing up in today's world needs to know.
Follow God. Respect whoever's raising you. Hit the books.
Well, all right. Follow God, respect whoever's raising you, and hit the books. That is fantastic. I love it. All right. Well, you said it all here. Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you. Obviously, I've known you for the very majority of my life. We've known each other literally for 40 years now. Literally. Yeah. And we've seen each other throughout the years. I mean, we're both, you're in a fraternity, I'm in a sorority. And we've always kind of gathered around helping people and serving. And so I just want to say thank you for the man you are, the father, the coach, the brother, and the friend, because you have always been a very, very supportive person. And the things you've said today on this interview have meant a lot to me. I know they'll make a difference to other people, and just your friendship over the years has always meant a lot, your encouragement. So I just want to thank you. And I know just a little bit being your peer, the little bit that you've poured into me and how much of a difference it's made for me. So I just can only imagine those young people that you're coaching. And then also as the vice principal of a school in the city of St. Louis, I did come to your school and, you have your hands full. And I think the fact that that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
And but to say that you care enough that you're still going over and above. And I wish other educators would be reignited. I know it's really tough. I just watched a video, and I didn't even plan to ask you this, but I just watched a video literally last night, and I saw a young lady getting into her female teacher's face and then literally attacking her. And I saw the lady be restraining her as much as she could. And even in the end, she restrained her. And I see there's so much violence and so much anger with the kids. You said, put God first, respect whoever's raising you, and hit the books. I love you said that. And for any parent or any young person who's watching this, please listen to Coach Dominick, because without the Lord, I don't know what's going to happen in these schools. And we can't pray anymore in the schools, technically. So if you're a praying person, I would ask people to pray for the children, pray for the teachers, pray for the administration, pray for the environments, because if we can't get them wrangled up in school and lead them in the right direction, what's going to happen?
We got to pray.
Yep.
Pray that all positive things happen day in, day out. And if you can slip a word in here and there to a student, to a child, they're receptive to it. All won't be, but reach the ones who are willing to listen.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach Dominick. I really appreciate your time and what you shared with us today. And thank you for continuing to pour into the kids.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.